Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day to our beloved lecturer, Madam Aisyah Abdullah Sani and our fellow friends. Today, our group will present about Material Requirement Planning or MRP. But first, I will introduce our group members. Our group members consist of Khadijah Hawa binti Azmi, Nurul Arisa binti Ahmad, Shakira Khairunisa binti Sema'onsha, Siti Nasuha binti Norizan, and me myself, Fatin Nursyahirah binti Zulkiflie.
First, I will present the definition. MRP or Material Requirement Planning is a computer-based inventory management system that calculates the raw materials and components needed to manufacture a product. MRP is designed to improve the inventory efficiency of a business by estimating quantities of raw materials and scheduling timely deliveries. MRP helps businesses to maintain low inventory levels by controlling manufacturing, purchasing, and delivery activities. So this is the history of MRP. In the early 1950s, MRP was first computerized by aero engine makers associated with General Electric and Rolls-Royce. However, MRP was not commercialized by them. Before MRP became commercialized, it was reinvented to use the Polaris program. In 1964, as a response to the Toyota manufacturing program, Joseph Orlicki developed MRP. The first company to use MRP was Black Decker in 1964. Black & Decker is an American manufacturing company that manufactures power tools, hardware, home improvement products, and home appliances that was originally established in 1910. Since 1975, the MRP system has been continuously updated to be made more efficient for businesses, including several different models. By 1975, MRP was implemented in about 150 companies. This number had grown to about 8,000 companies by 1981. In the 1980s, Joe Orlicki's MRP evolved into Oliver Wick's Manufacturing Resource Planning MRP2, which brings master scheduling, rough cut capacity planning, capacity requirements planning, and other concepts to classical MRP. By today, MRP is one of the most common and widely used inventory management systems in the world. So, these are the scope of MRP. Basically, MRP answers three questions. The first question is, what items are required? This question is about what specific materials and components are needed to manufacture each of the outputs. This helps the company to minimize purchase of unneeded raw materials. This question is important because if a company purchases insufficient quantities of items used in manufacturing or purchase the wrong items, the company may not be able to meet their obligations to supply the products on time. The second question is how many are required? This question is about how much materials are required at a time in order to meet the demands. Management should always consider the inventory status records on quantity on hand and outstanding purchase orders when answering this question. This helps to track the inventory levels, purchases, and shipments of goods to the company. This question is important because if a company purchases excessive quantities of items, the business operation will be inefficient since the money is wasted, and there is a possibility that the excessive quantity of materials will remain as stock that might never be used by the company. The third question is, when are they required? This question is about when is the quantities of raw materials are required in order to meet the demand. This will help the company to consider regarding the delivery of the materials needed. This question is important because if the company begin production of an order at the wrong time due to the delivery issues, it can cause the company to miss the customer deadlines.
Assalamualaikum, I am Khadijah Hawa. I will proceed the presentation by explaining the objective of material requirement planning. First is improve the customer service. It aids in avoiding delay in production and indicates the due date of the customer order, the availability of materials needed for production as at when due in order to ensure adequate delivery of products to the final customer. MRP also enable the firm to give realistic delivery date to the customer and effective measure can be taken. Second, MRP can minimize inventory investment. It guarantees that the inventory level is at optimum levels. The accuracy determination of the requirement material for the every product help the company procure materials as needed and avoid excessive materials. In addition, it ensures that the materials and product is ready for production and matching demand and supply. Thirdly, the objective of MRP is improve coordination among employees. For example, by organize the manufacturing, delivery schedule, and the purchasing activity. It helps in the achieving an uninterrupted flow of the inventory through the production line. It also enhances the efficiency of the production system. Next, I will explain about the importance of material requirement planning. Firstly, to stay on top of the manufacturing process, the proper material requirement planning setup help the companies to achieve their main goals. The main goals is capital preservation and effective use of the working capital. Next, maintain quality benchmark by giving full visibility into the manufacturing processes. MRP system detect the problem in the production line caused by the scarcity or a reduction of the material. The system will solve the problem and recommend the availability of another materials. MRP will help manufacturer plan their production line when there are material availability constraints. Thirdly, MRP ensure accurate material planning and purchasing to meet regulatory demand. The system take into account the accuracy of the quantity and the cost of the material needed to come out with the reasonable purchase to satisfy the demand. The optimized purchase will saving the manufacturer the cost of the unnecessary purchase. Lastly, the production manager get insight into the availability of materials and the time taken for the manufacturing operations. It includes assembly, testing of products, and packaging. The manager can use the information about work schedule that manage production time to control hourly operation, equipment, labor tasks, labor time, and operational costs. The system can track the production steps and identify any needed purchases while rechecking with the production schedule and expected material deliveries.
Assalamualaikum, I am Nurul Arisa. I will continue to present Input Material Requirement Planning, MRP. A success MRP system depends on the quality of data provided. To have an efficient MRP system, each input must be updated and accurate. As you can see from the slide, there are 3 inputs of MRP which are Bill of Materials, Inventory Status File, and master production schedule. First, Bill of Materials, BOM. BOM is also known as the Product Structure File. It is a computerized file listing all finished products, the quantity of raw materials, parts, sub-assemblies, and assemblies in each product. It is also used to obtain information about the components needed to make an end product. A bill of material not only lists all the required parts, but also is structured to reflect the sequence of steps required to produce the end product. Second, Inventory Status File, ISF. Inventory Status File keeps a complete and up-to-date record of each item in the inventory. It provides detailed information on the inventory such as item identification number, quantity on hand, safety stock level, quantity already allocated, and the procurement lead time of each item is recorded in this file. The ISF contains important real-time information on a company's inventory. It lets managers know what they have on hand, where that inventory is, and the overall status of the inventory. Okay, third, Master Production Schedule, MPS. MPS is designed to meet the market demand, both the firm orders and forecasted demand in the future in the taken planning horizon. The MPS is simply the quantity and timing of all end goods to be produced over a specific time period. Okay, next, Output Material Requirement Planning. There are three outputs for material requirement planning, which are Plan Order Receipt, Plan Order Release, and also Order Rescheduling. Firstly, Plan Order Receipt. This is the order quantity of an item that is planned to be ordered so that it is received at the beginning of the period under consideration to meet the net requirements of that period. This order has not yet been placed and will be placed in the future. Secondly, Plan Order Release. This is the order quantity of an item that is planned to be ordered in the planned time period for this order that will ensure that item is received when needed. Plan Order Release is determined by offsetting the planned order received by the procurement lead time of that item. Plan Order Release includes inventory forecast, purchase commitment reports, and stock out incidents. Lastly, Order Rescheduling. This highlights the need for any expediting, de-expediting, and cancellation of open orders in case of unexpected situations.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Shakira Khairunisa and I will continue this presentation. One of the advantages of MRP is save time. MRP system are automated, which means the system will generate production order based on the inventory level of supply demand. Therefore, the team members have access for latest data on real time, which means there will be benefit on save time, eliminate time wasted on updating each other on changes made. Secondly, minimizes inventory level and cost associated. MRP will help maintain to minimize inventory level. With minimum inventory level, material planning can reduce cost associated. Material planning also can smoothen capability utilization and allocates correct time to products as per demand forecast. Next, increase customer satisfaction. By reducing costs that will be used to hold excess inventory, to ensure materials to be used available on time for production, MRP will help to improve customer satisfaction.
customers are more likely to purchase again when they receive high quality product on a timely manner, and also to pay at the lowest possible. Last but not least, increase manufacturing efficiency and labor productivity. MRP systems are available to provide a compact visual representation inventory that available for the production process. If there are not enough inventory, MRP will generate production orders. Thus, if managers should use the information to schedule the labor and meets the overall process without overstaffing production line. Next, the disadvantages of MRP. The first one is heavy reliance on input data accuracy. Material planning is entirely dependent on the input it receives from the other system department. If the input is incorrect, then output information also be incorrect. MRP system can be difficult and expensive to implement. Before implement MRP system, management should provide training for their staff. Material planning system requires proper training for the end users to get the maximum out of the system. Last but not least, using MRP system introduces the temptation to hold inventory more than needed, and there is a lack of flexibility when it comes to the production schedule.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Nasuha and I will proceed the presentation. The first step of MRP process is identifying customer demand and the requirement needed to meet it, which start with inputting customer order and sale forecast. Using the bill of material required for production, MRP then disassembles demand into the individual components and raw material needed to complete the builds while accounting for any required sub-assemblies. Number 2, checking inventory and allocating resources. Utilizing the MRP to check demand against inventory and allocating resources accordingly. You can see both what item you have in stock and where they are. This is especially important if you have inventory across several locations. Next, third, scheduling production. Using the master production schedule, the system determines how much time and labor are required to complete each step of each build and when they need to happen so that the production can occur without delay. The production schedule also identifies what machinery and workstation are needed for each step and generate the appropriate work orders, purchase orders and transfer orders. Lastly, identifying issue and making recommendation. Finally, because the MRP links raw material to work order and customer order, it can automatically alert your team when items are delayed and make recommendation for existing order, automatically moving production in or out, performing what-if analysis and generating exception plans to complete the required builds. Advanced Planning and Scheduling Software (APS) is a software that can aid with Material Requirement Planning (MRP). It can aid with manufacturing operations around the globe that are needs to increase the efficiency. It allows manufacturers to easily view their production process as a whole and manipulates areas that are need to improve. APS can be implemented into operation around the globe. It has become necessary for modern-day manufacturing operation due to customer demand to increase the production mix and lowers the cost pressure. APS can be quickly integrated with a MRP software to fill gaps where this system lack planning and scheduling flexibility and accuracy. APS helps planners save time while providing greater agility in updating ever-changing priorities, production schedule, and inventory plans. Next, how does MRP software work in practice? So, here is 3 companies using the MRP software to streamline or expand their business. Firstly is Paddock Gear and Engineering. Paddock Gear and Engineering supplies product to blue chip companies in the power transmission industry. this field of manufacturing have high demand and have high standards of product and difficult in quality control. When Paddock expanded their business, it found that it was struggling to maintain control of jobs on the shop floor. Not only this, but quality control was hardly to handle to meet the demand. So, they want to use the MRP system in the area of manufacturing instruction, road card, sales order, work order, batch traceability, and job costing. By using the MRP system, key information on manufacturing job was available at the click of a button, so the company can save money, does not have any pressure in work, and save the employing the full-time staff. Secondly, Northvale Coating. Northvale produced control valve for the automotive, petrochemical, marine, nuclear, water treatment, and oil and gas industry. Northvale lacked in key operational features in the modern business process. Because of this, Northvale decided to adopt an MRP system to assist with operational control, internal process management, and stock control. After use the MRP software, the software helps in number of areas including shop floor data capture, sales order processing, batch purchasing, stock control. Therefore, Northvale has reported improved in job costing, increased the work efficiency, and can lower the cost. Thirdly, Crystal Precious Engineering's business. It manufactures products for multiple industries, including textile, pharmaceutical, and medical equipment, energy, motorsport, oil and gas, and food. Crystal planning for 5 years transformation plan to improve their growth and find new opportunities. So, they start by investing in an MRP software. After use the MRP software, they improve in inventory control and work in progress management by linking barcode scanner to the system to track goods. This helps to up to the inventory level, improve quality control, and greater predictability. So, MRP software is highly specialized. However, every SME is different and every MRP system is different. So, it depends whether the company want to use it or not. In conclusion, MRP is a system-based production planning and inventory control system that help company to evaluate inventory control and material planning issue. It is also the most system that company use nowadays. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.